Yeah, first of all, credit to Villanova. What a hard-fought game. I thought the game was closer than the score indicated. Those kids played their tails off. Credit to their coaching staff. About a month ago, we dominated the game against them, and those kids came back and won some impressive games down the stretch, and got to us today and really made it a battle for us.
Questions? Go ahead, Kaylee. Coach, obviously strong offensive performance overall, but maybe even more impressively was your defensive performance on Villanova. The last game you held Jake Ficarra to no goals, scored right at the end of the game. What was your game plan going into this time around?
It was very similar. We felt like we wanted to be aggressive and physical on the ball, but those guys are so talented. I mean, the Ficarra brothers is such a problem to cover. The younger one, I thought, was the best player on the field today. He was dynamite, and the McNamara kid is almost unguardable sometimes. So, I thought we played really well, but those guys are just so good, and they get their numbers. And I think with 9 goals, they probably could have had 10 or 11. So, but our aggressiveness, our physicality, I think, was the driving force to our success today.
For Connor and Ryan, you guys, what were you guys seeing out there? Connor, you had a great first half. Ryan, toward the end of the first half and through the second, you had really stepped up. So what were you guys seeing out there? What was lighting the fire for you guys?
So we'll take it, Connor.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously a game of runs. We started out pretty well, but we didn't want to get too high or too low. Obviously, Villanova fought back, and we weren't ever safe. It was always a game. But we just wanted to trust each other and understand the fact that we're here for a reason. It's because we're a good lacrosse team. And just kind of trust each other on each end, so worked out pretty well.
Yeah, I think right away we scored 3 goals right away. We had a couple midfielders step up and score some goals. They didn't slide to them. They went right to the net and scored. And and then credit to Villanova, they made some changes, and it was a little bit harder after that. And they slid harder, and we weren't able to go right to the net right after that, so we had to play a little more sustained offense a little bit longer. And then, luckily, we were able just to get a couple bounces and beat their defensemen. It was tough. They played well.
You have a question for Coach too?
Coach, do you have any thoughts on one, the face-off game, and then the turnovers? There were a lot of turnovers.
Yeah, I thought the face-off game was a war. They were really physical at the face-off X. Our kid, Zach Malillo, he was getting his stick to the ball every single time. But, in the first half, I didn't look at the second half stats, but the first half stats, I think they had 1-8 and we had 1-5. And we felt like we had the ball right after the whistle, but they just won it back by being physical and being tough. And I thought their wings did a great job. Credit to Zach Malillo in the second half. He really just toughed it out. He's got a lump on his head and he's got some bruises on his arms. And he was just a warrior out there trying to fight for the ground ball.
Did you consider double pulling on the face like you did last game?
We tried a little bit. We thought about it a little bit, but playing in altitude and it's hot. We're not that deep at the long stick midi position, So we really only have 3 guys we trust up there, and they were tired. So we didn't want to risk losing their energy on the defensive end. And we like our short sticks out there. Jake Richards is one of the best out there, and Noah Joseph and Griffin kind of did a pretty good job as well.
Especially for you with your senior year, how special is this guy for you guys?
It's awesome. I mean, us 19 seniors kind of built this thing from the bottom up, and they kind of had the opportunity to go out there one more time and really cement it. It was really special. So couldn't ask for anything more. 60 more minutes.
Yeah, like this whole week, Coach has been talking about just making more memories with the 19 seniors that are here. It's so fun. These 19 seniors are great guys, and from the ones who don't play, the ones that play, they all make a difference on the team. They're awesome guys, and we want to keep this thing going for as long as we can.
I gotta ask, what's it been like to be here for the whole week?
Pretty relaxing, kind of like a mini vacation.
Are you guys in finals, or what's going on?
We have finals next week, but we got school stuff to take care of, so we're balancing school, work, staying hydrated, but nice weather, so we'll take it.
Yeah, definitely last week. Last week was pretty difficult with school because we had to do all of our speeches that usually are like this week or like last week and this week. So we were doing two weeks of school in one week. So
yeah.
It was pretty difficult.
So you've seen every season here in Denver, basically.
Yeah, we packed for spring, winter, and summer.
Mike?
Obviously, it wasn't planned, but Andy Dimache being out there with 6. What was it like to see 6 on the field again after Kyle's injury?
You know, it's funny. He looked like him out there, and I think Andy's first goal was left-handed. And I walked over to Kyle and said, "That's the first left-handed goal that a 6 has ever scored in the history of our program," because Kyle was a predominantly right-handed player, and just the energy that those goals brought to our team, because our team felt like it was a tribute to Kyle, and I think that was. It was unbelievably meaningful for our group, and I think that elevated the emotion on our bench and really put a smile on Kyle's face, and that means the world to all of us. You know, to see that kid happy and smiling, engaged is everything that all of us do this for.
Brad.
Yeah. Coach, you seem to share an emotional moment with the rest of the coaching staff after the game. Can you put into context a little bit what the win means for your program and what you guys have been building towards the past few years?
Yeah, I probably can't put into context, but I'll tell you that that's probably the most special moment I've ever had as a coach. Those guys, our staff, this team, we've worked through every challenge, and now we have an opportunity to play for a championship. And it just means the world to me to have men who care about youngsters, trying to just push them, support them through every challenge. And then you find a bunch of kids who believe in each other and don't let challenges stop them. There's no obstacle that this group doesn't want to tackle. Whether they overcome it or not, time will tell. But there's no obstacle that these young men are afraid to tackle. And if they get pushed down, they'll fight right back up. And that's what that embrace at the end of the game was about.
Anything else? All right, great job, guys.
Thank you.
Photograph with you three guys?
Sure.
All right.
John?
Do you want to stand it up?